Can you guess which American state has the biggest population of Indian Americans? Yes, that's right, it's California. Home to over 1 million Indian Americans, this American state has attracted South Asians like nothing else. But why are Indians taking over California? What is their history with this place? Why not go to places like New York or Texas? In this video, come with us as we tell the tale of Indian Americas in California. From their first immigrations here to where they are now, we'll talk about everything. Let's start from the beginning, which is the Indian Americans and South Asians have been settling in California since the early 1900s. Back then, Indian immigrants, especially Sikh workers, came to fill jobs in farming, lumber mills, and railroads. But things weren't easy. Anti-immigration laws, like the Alien Land Act of 1913 and the Immigration Act of 1917, cut off new immigration from India. Despite these challenges, the Indian community in California kept pushing forward. Leaders like Sergeant Bhagat Singh Thand and Sakaram Ganesh Pandit fought for immigration reform, which led to the Loose Seller Act of 1946 and eventually the Immigration Act of 1965, allowing more Indians to come to the US. Now, with nearly 900,000 Indian American residents, California has the largest Indian American population in the country. California has also been a leader in political representation. Back in 1956, voters elected Dalip Singh Saun to Congress, making him the first Asian American ever to serve in Congress. Since then, California has elected other Indian Americans like Ami Bera and Ro Khanna, and of course, Kamala Harris, the first Indian American to serve in the Senate. Today, California is home to over 1 million Indian Americans, making it the state with the largest Indian population in the US. Most Indians in California have settled in urban and suburban areas that offer strong job markets, access to good schools, and established Indian communities. In other words, you'll find a ton of Indians living in areas like San Jose, Fremont, and Sunnyvale in Silicon Valley, which is a hub for tech professionals. Los Angeles and Irvine are also popular, particularly for those working in fields like healthcare, entertainment, and business. But that's not all, because the Bay Area around San Francisco has become a center for Indian entrepreneurs, engineers, and academics. Now let's move away from the areas to the people themselves. Californian Indian Americans have paved the way to become some of the most high-profile individuals in this country. Perhaps the most notable example is Kamala Harris, the current Vice President of the United States. Born in Oakland, California in 1964, Kamala is the daughter of an Indian mother, Shyamala Gopalan, and a Jamaican father, Donald Harris. Her mother, a cancer researcher, immigrated to the US from India in the 1960s and played a key role in raising Kamala and her sister, spending time in both the US and in India. Her career began in the Alameda County District Attorney's Office in 1990, where she quickly rose through the ranks. She became the District Attorney of San Francisco in 2003 and later Attorney General of California in 2010, becoming the first woman and the first person of color to hold that office. In 2016, Kamala Harris was elected as a U.S. Senator from California, where she made a name for herself on issues like immigration, criminal justice reform, and healthcare. In 2020, she was elected as the Vice President of the United States, making history as the first woman, the first black person, and the first person of Indian descent to hold this position. And who knows, she might just be the first female Indian American President of America. Beyond politics, other prominent Indian Americans from California include Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google and the leading developer of Google Chrome. With his leadership, the company has expanded into AI, cloud computing, and other frontier technologies. Then we have Vinod Khosla, who is the co-founder of Sun Microsystems and a leading venture capitalist. Born in Delhi, Khosla came to the US to earn an MBA from Stanford, and today he is one of the most prominent entrepreneurs in his space. California is home to one of the largest Indian communities in the US, and their presence here is no accident. But why is this state becoming such a buzzing hub for Indians? We dug deep and came up with 6 important reasons. One of the strongest reasons Indians have gravitated to California is family. In Indian culture, family is everything. The bonds between parents, children, and even extended family members run deep, and there's a huge emphasis on staying connected. In California, Indian families have found a place where they can maintain these close ties while still living in the US. For many, moving to California meant they could build a better life without having to sacrifice the tight-knit family structures that are so important. Whether it's living in multi-generational households with grandparents, parents, and kids under the same roof, or simply staying close to each other, the family-first mentality of Indian culture fits well with California's family-friendly communities. Plus, with a large Indian population already settled in cities like San Jose, Fremont, and Artesia, new immigrants find familiar cultural anchors, making it easier to preserve their family traditions. Cultural diversity is one of California's trademarks, and it's one of the reasons Indians feel so comfortable here. They've been able to hold on to their traditions, customs, and even daily practices in this melting pot of cultures. The best part, they're not just holding on to it for themselves. They're sharing it with the broader California community. Whether it's through big Diwali celebrations, holy festivals, or just introducing non-Indians to Indian food, who doesn't love a good samosa? The Indian community has been able to enrich the cultural landscape of the state. You'll find Indian restaurants, grocery stores, and cultural centers scattered all over California, from Little India in Artesia to the heart of Silicon Valley. Festivals and religious events are often massive gatherings, with people from different backgrounds joining in the fun. In fact, California's openness to different cultures has made it easier for Indian immigrants to blend their heritage with the local culture, keeping their roots alive while adapting to their new environment. That blend of old and new is one of the things that makes the Indian experience in California so unique. California's job market, especially the tech industry, is a big magnet for Indian professionals. Silicon Valley in particular is a global hub for tech talent, and Indians have been a huge part of its success. Starting in the 1990s, there was a significant influx of Indian engineers, IT professionals, and entrepreneurs, which hasn't slowed since. Indian talent has become so influential in the tech world that you'll find many top executives and entrepreneurs who trace their roots back to India. Why Silicon Valley? For many Indian immigrants, especially those in IT and engineering, it's the place where skill and opportunity meet. The demand for tech workers here is high, and Indian professionals have the training and expertise to meet that demand. Many come to the US on H-1B visas, and once they're settled into roles at top companies like Google, Apple, and Facebook, they often stay, putting down roots and starting families. California's reputation as a place for innovation and entrepreneurship also encourages Indian immigrants to start their own companies, contributing to the broader startup ecosystem. But it's not just about tech. Indians are also making strides in healthcare, education, and finance. California's diverse economy has plenty of room for skilled professionals in various sectors, so whether you're an engineer or a doctor, there's an opportunity to succeed here. So many Indians have been able to make California their home thanks to US immigration policies. The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 was a game changer, eliminating quotas that used to favor European immigrants and opening up the doors for more skilled workers from Asia, including India. This meant that educated professionals from India, particularly those with STEM backgrounds, could come to the US and take advantage of opportunities here. Fast forward a few decades, and the H-1B visa program became another key factor. This visa allows US companies to hire foreign workers in specialized fields, and Indians have become the largest group to benefit from it, particularly in the tech industry. Silicon Valley's growth and its reliance on highly skilled talent created a pathway for Indian engineers and IT professionals to make their way to California. Once they're here, many immigrants take advantage of family reunification policies to bring their loved ones over, further growing the Indian community. While immigration policies can sometimes be complicated and contentious, they've become a critical part of why so many Indian families have settled in California, building a life and contributing to the state's success. Indian culture places a huge emphasis on education, and California is home to some of the best universities in the world. Institutions like Stanford, UC Berkeley, and Caltech are magnets for Indian students, particularly those looking to excel in science, engineering, business, and medicine. For many Indian families, sending their kids to study abroad in the US is a big goal, and California's top-notch education system is a perfect fit. Indian students come to California not just for the quality of education, but also for the opportunities it opens up afterward. With a degree from a prestigious California university, many students find themselves well positioned to land jobs in top tech firms or pursue other high-profile careers. Once they graduate, they often choose to stay in California, transitioning from student visas to work visas or even becoming permanent residents. Over time, this cycle has helped build a strong Indian community in California, with education being the gateway to long-term success. On campus, Indian students often join cultural and social organizations, forming tight-knit groups that support one another through the challenges of studying abroad. These communities not only make the transition to life in the US smoother, but also help students maintain connections to their heritage, further strengthening the Indian community as a whole. Family networks are another key factor in why so many Indians are in California. Once the first wave of immigrants establishes themselves, they often bring over their relatives through family reunification policies. This has led to the creation of large, multi-generational Indian communities where parents, siblings, and extended families live close to one another. These networks provide a support system, offering everything from help with housing to job advice to emotional support as newcomers adjust to life in the US. It's common in Indian culture for family members to help each other out, especially when someone is settling into a new place. Whether it's a cousin showing you around your new neighborhood or an uncle helping you find a job, family ties run deep, and this sense of community makes the process of immigration a little easier. In California, where many Indian families have already laid down roots, these networks have helped newcomers feel at home faster, contributing to the rapid growth of the Indian population in the state. And this is the end of our video. If you liked knowing all about Indian Americans in California, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. That way we'll book you a passenger seat on our upcoming video travels. In the meantime, check out this cool video right here.